Hi all, this is Nellie from the YouTube channel Ordinary People, Saintly Souls. And I am now telling you about the visions that Maria Valtorta, the Italian mystic, saw about how the soldiers bring Jesus from the house of Pontius Pilate to the palace, both palaces really, of Herod, the ruler of Palestine, the Roman ruler of Palestine. And so again, she says they send Jesus off with 100 soldiers as if he is, the most dangerous rascal, the most dangerous criminal that they have ever caught. And while they are walking from one place to the other, they run into Judas Iscariot. And he actually already had seen him one more time. So this is the second time they run into him. And Judas just doesn't know what to do with himself and runs away. And then they see, they enter the house of Herod, and there is Joanna of Chuza's husband, and they call him Chuza. And he is just in a state of distress, seeing what Jesus looks like, how he's been beaten, and how he's been taken before Herod. And so then, first of all, Herod tries to be nice. He tries to play nice. And he says, I hear you're a great man because I asked about you. And Chuza, who works for Herod, was your friend. And Manaen, Herod's foster brother, is your disciple. But I really want to say you're great, and I ask you to forgive me. And of course, he's thinking about John the Baptist, who he had beheaded at that moment. And he says, John's eyes and his voice accuse me and are always before me. You are the saint who cancels the sin of the world. Absolve me, O Christ. But Jesus remained silent. And then Herod says, I heard that they accuse you of rebelling against Rome. Are you not the promised rod to strike Assurs? Jesus stays silent. They told me that you predicted the end of the temple and of Jerusalem. But is the temple not eternal as a spirit, since it was wanted by God, who is eternal? Jesus is silent. Are you mad? Have you lost your power? Is Satan preventing you from speaking? Has he abandoned you? Now Herod is laughing. And then he gives an order. And some servants bring in a dog with a broken leg. And Herod says, work a miracle. He'll heal this dog. And Jesus looks at him with quite a severe glance, severely, and remains silent. And Herod says, have I offended you? Okay, try it with this man. He is kind of like a wild beast. Give him his intelligence, since you are the intelligence of the Father. Is that not what you say? Another more severe glance of Jesus, who remains silent. And then Herod says, this man is too stubborn. Bring wine and women and untie him. And so they bring in dancers that are next to naked, and they hand Jesus cups of wine, but he closes his eyes without speaking. And they all laugh at him with disdain. And they say, take any woman you wish, live, learn how to live, live a bit. Jesus seems like a statue with folded arms, closed eyes. He doesn't stir, even when the dancers touch him with their nude bodies. Enough, says Herod. I treated you as God, and you did not act as God. I treated you as a man, and you didn't act as a man. You are mad. Hand me a white garment. Clothe him with it, so that Pontius Pilate may know that I take him to be mad. So it seems that a white garment was given to people who were considered mad. And so they put this garment on top of Jesus' red woolen coat, and they go back to Pilate. And Pilate really is not pleased with getting this hot potato back. And we know the story that his wife asks him to spare Jesus. And again, he says, Herod did not find any fault with him, and we don't think he deserves death. Rome has spoken. I will give you Barabbas, and I will order him to be given 40 lashes. That should be enough. And as you know, they shout, no, Barabbas, not Barabbas, death to Jesus. And then he says, okay, maybe lashing is not enough. I'll have him scorched. But you know, he might die when he's scorched. That seems to have been much worse than lashing, and I will tell you about that in the next video. And so then he ends. Pilate says, okay, give him as many lashes as you want, have him scorched. In any case, the matter is over. I am bored. Go. So this was Nelly from the channel Ordinary People, Saintly Souls, reading from the visions of Maria Valtorta, what she saw during the trial of Jesus.